Hi, I'm Hassan Zahir. I'm a partner at PTR. In this video, I will take you through our EVs and EV charging infrastructure market analysis service, where we do an analysis of the market for EV chargers and electric vehicles in 28 countries around the world. On a high level, the service consists of 6 different elements. Market sizing, looking at the installed base and annual market of EV chargers historically, and then also in the next 10 years, looking at the market shares of top EV charger suppliers by AC and DC segments on a regional level, supplier profiles of 15 major EV charger manufacturers globally, including their revenue from EV chargers business, policies and incentives, which are driving the market, especially for public chargers, but also for private chargers, key market trends, which are a synthesis of the data and the findings that we have had throughout this research, and lastly, Power BI, which is the platform on which we are presenting the service. As a start, since the market for public and private charging evolves very separately and have very different drivers, we have segmented the market sizing across the board into public and private charging. And then within each of these segments, we have further categorization of charger data by capacity, looking at different AC capacities and DC charger sizes that I will walk you through in a second, 4 different applications, and then also owners. Who are the owners of these chargers, which are already installed and which are going to be installed moving forward from a forecast perspective. Within private charging, we have a special lens on data, which is the vehicle lens, in which we talk about the charger requirements for each vehicle site. That also we will have a look at in a second. Going into the detail of market sizing segmentation, looking at 3 major charger families, so AC chargers, DC low power chargers, and DC high power chargers, which are then further segmented into different capacity ratings. So AC 0 to 10 kilowatt, AC greater than 10 kilowatt, DC 0 to 30 kilowatt, 31 to 60, 61 to 150, 151 to 350, and then greater than 350 kilowatt DC fast chargers. In addition to that, the data is also segmented by charger application, residential, workplace charging. That includes both office space or employee parking, and then also the commercial vehicle charging, destination charging, and then en route charging. Then we also segmented data into different charger customer or charger owners, the guys who are actually paying for these chargers. So CPOs, energy retailers, public transport companies, vehicle OEMs, city and infrastructure, businesses, fleets of commercial vehicle, and then of course, residential or home chargers. And then lastly, chargers by vehicle type, which is a special segmentation only within the private chargers, where we have a look at the amount of private chargers for passenger EVs, electric LCVs, electric buses, and electric trucks. In addition to looking at the data for EV chargers, we're also looking at the drivers of EV chargers. And one of the key drivers, of course, is the EVs themselves. So we are tracking the active fleet and annual sales of 4 different types of vehicles, including passenger EVs, electric LCVs, electric buses, and electric trucks in these 28 markets around the world, which is part of the service. And in addition to that, since government policies and incentives are also a big driving factor in this market, we're also covering that as part of the service. Another element of market sizing, which is very crucial for EV chargers, is the pricing. Overall, the prices for EV chargers are expected to decrease moving forward based on different factors, including economies of scale and the maturity of technology. So we, in part of this service, are also looking at the forecast scenarios, 3 different forecast scenarios of charger pricing in different charger sizes for 20 countries as part of this coverage. And then for the remaining countries, we are modeling the prices. Looking at the supplier side of things, we are including in this service the supplier profiles of 16 different manufacturers globally, where we're looking at their product portfolio, recent developments, analysis of the company, including their EV chargers revenue, and in certain cases, the number of chargers that they're supplied around the world. Then another level of deep dive is we're looking at market shares of AC and DC charger suppliers in 6 different regions. So we're looking at Germany, China, USA, rest of Europe, rest of Asia Pacific, rest of Americas. This is only for these 6 markets where we're looking at specific percentages. But if you think about the remaining countries, there we are actually providing the names of top 10 manufacturers in each of those countries active in AC and DC chargers domain. Then looking at the overall trends in the market, we have a focus on M&A. We're looking at new products and technologies, product portfolios, which are part of the service. And lastly, projects and policies. Any large investment projects in these countries are being tracked. And then also we have an eye on all the country-specific grants and incentives in all of these markets, which are essentially driving the overall forecast for these countries. What are these countries? So majority of these markets are, of course, in Europe, because this is where we see a huge adoption of electric vehicles in the next 10 years. Then we also have several markets covered in EMEA region, and then, of course, United States, Canada, Mexico, and Brazil as America's region are segmented out. But then also you get a global picture because we include rest of the regions as part of the market sizing analysis. So you can get a global overview as well. The service overall is presented as part of Power BI dashboards. And the reason behind that is the number of data points, and it makes it visually much more easier to digest the data through Power BI platform. And then in addition to that, we also provide access to our PTR Sonar app, where you would get updates on weekly market events and the analysis by our team of subject matter experts on the topic, which is updated on a weekly basis. So that's a very quick overview of our EV charger service. Please go through the rest of the page and reach out to me via the contact details listed below if you have any questions. Always happy to help. Thank you.